RCDA family, it's me. If you don't know me, my name is Terry Sway. I'm in the BWC unit. I started around February of last year, you know, right before we started working from home. So if you don't know me, sorry, I will meet you very soon. But I was asked to go ahead and put together some Chinese dumplings. Everyone does it differently and stuff like that, but this is what I usually do for New Year's. So I chose a really simple pork dumpling recipe that I think, you know, anyone could like put together and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start showing you all the stuff that I put in it, all right? So if you come a little closer, zoom on a little in. Okay, so I have 1 pound of ground pork, and you go ahead and just put that in. We have 3 cloves of garlic, minced. Usually I'll even put more because I love garlic, so, you know, put however much you think you would want. If you like garlic, more. If you don't like garlic, a little less. We're gonna put in 1 egg beaten just to be like keep it all together. And pour that in. And I have 2 tablespoons of chopped chives. Now the thing is with me, actually I grew these myself in my arrow garden, so I'm really excited to use them, but it depends on how much you want to chop it. I like them coarsely chopped. I like having like the bits of chives in there, and they're basically like scallions, but a little bit finer and stuff like that. So if you have scallions, then that's perfectly fine too. And then you're gonna want to put in 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. And the soy sauce actually really gives it like a lot more salty flavor. So, you know, you don't have to season it after the fact. It's just the soy sauce that goes in it. The sesame oil, if you're able to get it, it really gives it a really fragrant taste. So I would suggest that, you know, this is one of the things that you would probably want to try to get. I believe Stop & Shop and ShopRite have these, as well as the ginger too. So the ginger I minced very finely because you don't want big chunks of ginger in your dumplings. It's just not good. So I went ahead and minced those earlier, and now the fun part is just mixing it up with your hands. If you want, you could have gloves, or you could use a spoon if you like, but I like to mix it up with my hands just to get it all in there. Make sure that every nook and cranny has all the delicious seasonings that we have. It takes a little while to put it together, but you know, once you feel like it's seasoned well enough all the way through. So the difficult part about the dumpling wrappers is I do feel like it is a little hard to find them on Staten Island. If you were to go to Brooklyn, if you were to go anywhere like once that Asian grocery store opens back up, the one that was on South Avenue, I think it's gonna open up on like Forest or Victory or something like that. I know they'll have dumpling wrappers because they are a lot to make yourself, you know, like that's another thing on top of what you're already doing. So now that we have this all done, it's starting to look like it's like really forming together. It smells really good actually. I'm very excited to put this together. We did get dumpling wrappers. I like the round ones. There are square ones that are wonton, but you would prefer to probably get these. But what you would want to do is you'd want to put a little bit of flour on them because you don't want them to stick. And also, if what you're putting it on, I usually put it on like a big pan. You'll want to put some flour on here too, because the less sticking, the better. And you could do this one of 2 ways. You could make the dumplings right away and, you know, just go ahead and boil them, fry them, however way you like your dumplings. Or you could do it, my family usually does, and make a million of them and then put them in the pan and put them in the freezer, freeze them up, and once they're frozen, you can like put them in bags. And that freezes super well. You could have it in there for like months and stuff like that. So I am going to actually change my glove because it has pork all over it. And then, okay, perfect. So this is where we will start putting together the dumpling wrapper. And this could be a little hard. So if you're novice to it, if it's not something that you've done many times before, then I would just try to put in a little bit less than you usually, like, you know, would see in probably like a professional way. Like my grandma and my aunt, they can fill it up to the very brim and close it and it's perfect. And I cannot. Alrighty, so I have the dumpling wrapper right here. And then I'll grab a little bit of that with the spoon, get it right in the middle. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some water. Just do one side water so that it'll stick. You won't have to worry about it, you know, opening up at any point. And then you're gonna pinch it and then pinch it. And then if you want to go fancy, you push the middle together and make a cute little wrinkle right there. And then I will place this down right here. And yep, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that with the rest of these. And then we're gonna throw them in the pot to start boiling. So our water is boiling like crazy, and that's the way we want it when we're gonna have boiled dumplings. I'm not really a fan of pan-fried dumplings. If you are, then that's great. You can put them on a pan. You could put some vegetable oil on it, get it nice and hot, put the dumplings on, and then what you'll do is you add a little bit of water to steam them and cover them. But in this case, I'm gonna be boiling them, and I'm only gonna boil a few, but these are all the ones that I had put together while we were off the air. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put in about 8. So I will have a few, and then some of this will be with the shrine for my mom and my grandma. And so we're gonna go ahead and see. So I actually had a lot of water in here only because, you know, if I were to put all of them in there, you would want enough where it would be standing up. So they're actually gonna be on the bottom for a while, and then they will float, and then that's when you know that they're gonna be done. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure they don't stick to the bottom. I'm just gonna kind of, so they will start boiling again, which is why you want like a big pot, you know, have a huge pot for 8 dumplings. But I always think it's better to have more water than less and then have to like add in. So these are actually gonna boil up really fast because we hadn't frozen, like we didn't freeze them at all. But if you froze them, then they're definitely gonna take a lot longer, and you're gonna have to want to have it boil a little bit more and stuff like that. So, all right, while we're waiting for that to just finish boiling, I actually wanted to just put together a quick little sauce. So this is soy sauce. I grabbed a little bit too much according to the recipe that I had. And then you can go ahead and just use it as soy sauce as is. I like to put a little bit of sriracha in there. I actually like to put a lot of sriracha in there, and it tastes really good. It's not that spicy, it's kind of sweet, and it just, you know, gets that flavor going. And then the last thing that I have is this like chili crisp, and it's a little spicy. It's not anything crazy, but you put a little bit of this in there, and it's a little crispy, very umami, and it tastes so good. So you add a little bit of that to the dipping sauce, and I'm using chopsticks because I use chopsticks for everything. I use chopsticks to eat pizza, you know, just chopsticks all the time. So I'm just gonna mix that up, and I think that our dumplings are ready. They look amazing. So you see how buoyant they are and how they're floating? That's what you want, and it actually expanded a lot more because all the meat, you know, got a lot bigger. So I have one of these to just help me get rid of all the excess water. Just gonna put them in here. And like I said, I'm gonna use a few just for my mom's shrine, my mom and my grandma's shrine. And then I'm gonna actually eat a few so that you could see how delicious they are. All right, we're ready. Alrighty, we're gonna dig in here. I'm like super excited. I haven't made these by myself without my family in a while, so, you know, But happy Lunar New Year to everybody. I hope it's auspicious. I hope everyone does well. I hope the COVID is gone and everything. So, gonna take a little bite right now. So my homemade chives are amazing. The meat is like juicy and delicious because you also added the soy sauce in there, and it's dipping sauce. It's all very fragrant, and I'm really enjoying it. And so, you know, usually you would eat these at around midnight, from Thursday going into Friday, according to this schedule. But you're really just introducing, you know, I'm gonna have a really good year. I'm gonna be filled, you know. And so this is really good. I'm gonna have to make the rest of them for Thursday going into Friday. Gong Shi Fa Cai. And I will show you guys the shrine in a little bit. So this is the small shrine, I guess is lack of a better word, for our ancestors. I actually don't have, you know, any kind of picture or painting for my ancestors, unfortunately, but I do have this picture of my mom, and I do have a picture of my grandma that just recently passed away as well. So unfortunately this one's a little bit smaller just because I had to, it happened pretty quickly. But I do have my incense out. A lot of people are a lot more traditional. They don't have incense like this. They usually have the ones with the long sticks, and they're in some kind of like pot. And I chose to go with this just because I really believe that my mom would think that it was beautiful, and I really think that she would like it. So it makes like a little waterfall. And then these are the offerings. So this is the different kinds of fruits that we put out for her, as well as the dumplings that I just cooked. So they say that once your incense is done burning, then you're able to eat the food whenever you want or throw it out, you know, depending on what it is. So with the fruits, we'll definitely keep them and eat them. As for the dumplings, once this burns out, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out. So this is just to make sure that, you know, while they're up there, that they're having a good meal on us, and, you know, we're just praying to them and stuff like that. I know that some people, they do it for the gods and stuff. I am Christian, so I'm not exactly doing it for the gods, but I'm definitely doing it just, you know, for my culture, for, you know, respect for my parents and my family. So this is just something that I'll have out for the next few days. And actually next I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to burn joss paper and why we're gonna do that. So we'll see you guys outside then. Alright, so we're back. I'm here to do the burning of the paper. This is actually what you know as joss paper, joss, Joss. And as you can see, it kind of looks like regular like money, but obviously it's not real money. If it was, then I'd be rich. But we try to do this every Chinese New Year Eve, Lunar New Year Eve. I also actually did this for the anniversary of my mother's death and stuff like that. It's really something to do for your ancestors. It's to actually give them some money and burn it, give them some money to like pay off debt in the afterlife, any sort of extra money that they could use to spend if they want. Sometimes you'd want to use like, so my grandma that recently passed, she's from like Korea, so you might want to use Korean money, or at least looks like Korean money. And then for my mom, since she lived mainly in the USA, I would probably use like, you know, what it looks like, regular bank bills and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So I actually have a can that I made sure was one that I bought from Amazon that can definitely withstand heat. And then I also have a fire extinguisher just in case, because, you know, you want to be fire safety. And I'm gonna start burning it. All right, so you want to be really respectful of the paper. You want to bring respect for your family. You want to make sure that you keep this as like a nice ritual, so you don't just like throw it on, you don't stomp on it or anything like that. You just try to be as good with it as possible. Try to burn most of it if you can. So I will start burning probably the big papers because they just look like they're going to burn a lot better. And So really at this point, you know, you would say a few prayers to yourself. I want to wish everyone Gong Xu Fa Cai, a great new year. I want everyone to be prosperous. I want everyone to make money. I want everyone to be happy, be safe, survive, live, laugh, love. So, you know, I hope this is a really great new year, and hopefully everyone will do a heck of a lot better than last year. So while that's burning, I'm actually gonna throw these other ones in here. Some people fold them. I'm not actually gonna fold them or anything just because they really do look like paper money. And I'm just gonna carefully put these in. And actually the last time that I did this for my mom's death date, I know it's a thing that here cardinals, if they come around, it usually means that people are like the ones that passed are cardinals and they come to visit you. Actually, when we had done this in the backyard, a cardinal came, so I really believe that that was my mom. So that was pretty special, to be honest. Maybe she was like thanking me for, you know, like giving her some money to pay off any kind of debts that she might have in the afterlife, or whatever that may be. That is the culture. So we're actually just gonna wait for this to burn. So the thing about when you're burning the joss paper, or you're, you know, burning the paper for the sacrifice, it's more of you're going to be giving these things to your ancestors, and it's actually going to bring you good luck for the new year because they are going to be happier, and they're definitely going to want to bring you good luck in terms of money, in terms of just good luck in terms of love, anything that makes your life a little bit more prosperous. So this is why it's important for Chinese New Year traditions, and one of the most important ones, one of the ones that I really try to do every single year. So thank you guys so much for learning about, you know, my culture. It's really refreshing to be able to share this with everybody. And if you ever have any questions about it, I'm more than happy to like answer any questions, anything that you might want to learn, because it's exciting. So, Gong Xu Fa Cai, have a great new year. Thank you.